I mean, coffee's a fruit as well, the caffeine, but it's different. So yeah, I'd give durian to a baby. I wouldn't give coffee beans to a baby. Or speed.
Do you find addiction stems from the alternative being so horrifying to somebody that they need to sedate themselves or run away from it?
Nah, they just want to get leaner.
Well, I mean, people don't do heroin.
Or get a buzz.
I mean, that's the honest.
Most people do heroin for weight loss.
I think it's.
I beg to differ. I know fat heroin addicts.
Yeah, but they'd like to be leaner. I know fat fruitarians.
Yeah.
Like I know fat cyclists. So, but in my experience, most people do. All my friends now still do drugs. They're all weight loss motivated.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Man.
I would say that's more stimulants, so not like opiates or like different stuff.
Heroin shuts your appetite down. You don't eat when you're on heroin.
That's my model.
Yeah, it's weight loss. Most people do drugs for weight loss. What's that?
I think.
Do it keeps you lean. People do things. I disagree. Well, we can. Yeah, no one has to agree with us in this one. This is my little personal philosophy.
I guess my question was a little bit different than that. Do you think that the reason why people sustain using drugs once they realize how bad it is for them is because the alternative is so terrible? Like, why did you do drugs, and why did you continue doing drugs as soon as you realized that the drugs weren't good for you?
I got into drugs with it was fun, peer group.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't for weight loss then.
Over time, I was like, man, I'm getting lean. Yes, it's good.
But initially, you didn't.
No, that's right.
Okay. And did you find that you needed to escape a reality? Like, I mean,
yeah.
No?
Just want to get lean. But yeah, most people get into drugs because like you're at a party and it's a cool thing to do. And then you go and you start like you're not eating and someone goes, wow, you're looking really good. And you're thinking, what have I done? I've danced all night, I haven't eaten. How did I do that? Speed. Let's do it again. 100%. But you get into it because you're like, your friends are doing it, blah, blah, blah. But why the biggest users of the drugs is in the professional world is models and sports people going to get leaner. And people say, oh, it's to escape reality. I disagree. I'll say that's people might go on a big long bike ride to escape reality or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's to get lean, in my opinion. But this is obviously controversial. People say, oh, I got abused as a kid. It's like, no, you're for weight loss focused.
What if they're already skinny to begin with, and
because they want to stay skinnier. That's my opinion, though.
Well, why do they have such a low self-opinion of themselves and need to be skinnier?
Cannabis isn't a weight loss drug. Yeah. I'd say cannabis would just be. Yeah, it's a good question. I'd say the stimulants is more weight loss orientated. Like supermodels don't smoke bongs. It gives you the munchies. Like we used to smoke bongs before we went to McDonald's so we could eat more. We were in the car park. Double Big Mac cheese. So we would do dope to eat more. The food tastes better when you're high. But see, I agree with that. So why did we do dope? It was probably more like, hey man, what's going on? Just a bit of a mental detachment thing, and it was just sort of cool. And it becomes a daily ritual, and then it becomes addictive as well. Like the stimulants, I knew heaps of girls who wouldn't touch dope because it made them eat more. So they were doing cocaine, heroin, speed, and Rohypnol. So they'd forget to eat. So things like marijuana.
That makes you hungry, actually.
That's right. Marijuana makes you hungry. So it's a good weight gainer drug. I'd say marijuana is to sort of help you forget, block out reality maybe. Yeah. Marijuana is like a procrastinator's drug. You sort of sit around thinking about stuff, and stimulants is like the get shit done drug. Speak up a little bit. How long does it take to recover from drug abuse? Depends on the person. Their age, their mindset, their current lifestyle and diet choices, what time they go to bed, how much sport they do, their mental outlook, things like that. So it's not, I can't say 5.79 years, 34 days and 62 hours and 79 minutes. in maybe 3 or 4 seconds. It takes as long as it takes.
How long did it take you to get over your drug addiction?
How long did it take me what?
For you to get over drug addiction?
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
I started riding my bike, you know. I started on my bike and just sweating it out and drinking heaps of water, eating heaps of rice. Just felt clean like in a few weeks, really clean. Felt really like crisp. So, it depends on how much what drugs they use. Someone might use drugs and go to bed early. Someone might use drugs and to stay up all night. Someone might use drugs just the weekend, or they might be eating well. Some people use drugs to skip food. So it depends on the person, what they did with them. At the end of the day, all you can do is just do healthy things. There's no like negatives to doing healthy things, you know. And it takes time, so it's good to start today.
What's your view on natural hygiene and like the germ theory of disease?
What's my theory on natural hygiene and the germ theory?
Yeah. How do you feel about those two things?
I'd say, yeah, I agree with a lot with that. It's like an ant on your finger. If you don't have a finger, it can't crawl on it. If you've got a weak immune system and the virus or germs or whatever come in, they can sort of proliferate.
Yeah.
If your immune system's strong, if you're hydrated up, carved up, thinking positive, you can fight a lot of stuff. So a lot of people get, that's another thing why drugs make your immune system weak, is because you often don't sleep and eat enough. You're just peeling off your dial, your eyes are rolling back in your head, and you just don't eat and drink. You're just charging on adrenaline. And so you're just, just hitting walls. Yeah.
Do you think there's such a thing as food addiction?
Say again?
Is there such a thing as food addiction?
Is there such a thing as food addiction? Some people say there is. I disagree. Like, I mean, some people say coffee's a food. I say coffee's a drug.
Right.
I say anything you wouldn't give to a baby, yeah, it's a bit of a drug. Food. Yeah. I don't believe you can be addicted to food. It may be, actually, I'd take it back, cheese. Yes, cheese has got casomorphins in it. And so casomorphin is like something the body, even humans use it. We secrete it in human mother's breast milk, and it's given to the baby to make it addicted to drinking the milk. So it actually wants to keep drinking. So cheese is addictive because it has the casomorphins in it. That's why cheese is so hard for most people to give up. It's got a lot of calories and the fat, but it's also got the casomorphins in there. So I guess you can have food addictions in that aspect. But I also, is that? Yeah, every kind, as long as it comes from an animal. If it comes from a nut, no. If it's nut cheese, it won't have the casomorphin. Only if it comes from an animal. So a dolphin, a seal, a cat, dog, cow, human, mouse.
Just make sure the baby doesn't starve to death.
Is that?
So make sure the baby doesn't starve to death.
Just to make sure the baby doesn't starve to death. That's right. So the things like rice or fruit or salad, vegetables, they're not addictive, in my opinion. But people say, yeah, Harley, you're addicted to bananas, you need to eat less. You're addicted to rice. You're addicted to vegan restaurant food. You need to eat less, Harley. You need to lose some weight, Harley. You're addicted. You know,
You think McDonald's is addictive?
crazy. What's that?
Designed to
You think
be.
McDonald's is addictive?
They add
With
drugs.
cheese in it, for sure.
But what about like MSG and just crazy chemicals?
Yeah, the crazy chemicals.
I don't think they're addictive because I don't see anyone on the street doing lines of MSG. What's that? I don't see anyone doing lines of salt in the street. I would say that salt and MSG help you eat more calories, so then your body goes, yeah, this is good, you know, keep eating. But I wouldn't say those isolates are addictive, otherwise people would be isolating those and just have them as recreational drugs. I'd say the MSG and the spices, etc., they're not addictive because I don't see anyone who's like, just like eating chili powder or something like that, you know. I would say that these things, these condiments, let us eat more calories, and the body gravitates towards these condiments because they allow us to get more flavour and get more calories in. So I wouldn't say they're addictive, I'd say they're just appetite stimulants to help us eat more, and they can be beneficial.
Do you think MSG is healthy?
I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's that bad either. As bad, I think what it's eaten with is the issue.
Yeah.
No one gets heart disease because they had some MSG. I mean, who knows someone who had a heart attack from MSG or something? I don't know. I'd say that
I know it's used a lot here in Thailand or in Asia.
well, if you cook tomatoes, that's MSG. When you cook the glutamic acid, you create an MSG. If you put tomatoes in the sun, that's MSG. So
Anything
yeah,
that does
it comes from
umami taste.
beetroot. Is that?
The umami taste is a sign of MSG. Like umami, the taste that's in tomatoes
Miso.
Yeah.
and miso and all that like kind of salty.
Yeah.
It's not quite any other flavor.
So I don't think MSG is a bad one. I wouldn't be pouring it on my food. Most of the vegan places here don't use it. But once you cook, most things create MSG, especially tomato.
Remember the day you got vegan?
Can I remember the day I went vegan? Yeah, it was April 2001. I was going vegetarian for a week. And I was reading a book or magazine called Vegan Voice. I was reading about how they treated dairy cows and the negative health effects of drinking milk and how it causes weight gain and stuff. And I was like, oh, no more milk. It's bad for my health, it's bad for the animals, it's bad for the planet. See you later. And that was when I went vegan.
How many times do you eat that?
What's that?
How many times do you eat that?
Every day friendly's on here.
Oh, okay.
How often do I masturbate? Yeah. As much as you need to. That woke everyone up. So there's a movement on the internet at the moment that's called the no fat movement, where guys aren't beaten off or girls aren't beaten off. I think it's a good experiment to do for a couple of months for sure if you want it. But it can make some people very frustrated. And you see online they're getting they're crawling up the walls. So I'd say, maybe they need to release a bit of tension. The no fucks given cat again. I would say that some people probably, beat the banana too much, and they're just watching heaps of porn and that's what I do all day. I'd say that would be like extreme end of something negative. But if you're cleaning the pipes to think a bit crisper or whatever, it's not an issue. But if it becomes, I guess the individual will know how much is too much. A good friend of mine many years ago said to Harley, if you want to find a good girlfriend, fap off 3 times in an hour before you go for a date with her. And if you find her company good, she's probably a nice girl for you. If you're looking at your clock, well, I can't wait to get out of there, then you're not going to be compatible. It might be sexual chemistry, but if you don't have more than that, it's not going to last. So I thought that was a really valid tool. It's like going shopping when you're full. And you go into that experience just with no bias or hormonal influence. And if you can't handle them for 10 minutes or longer, then it's probably not going to work out. So, monkeys fap in nature, I would say it's a fine thing to do. Just, but if it starts to become your daily focus and that's all you can think about, then maybe you've got to shift your focus and maybe do a no fap experiment. And, yeah. That answer your question a bit? Yeah. I guess it varies as well, like hormonal levels and that. If you're getting more sleep, your sex drive's going to go up. If you're not getting enough sleep, it fades. If you're stressing out, sex drive can drop. If you're not getting enough calories. I remember one friend, he just had no sex drive for like a year or more. Just wasn't eating enough. So yeah, it's an individual thing.
How about meat addiction?
Meat addiction. Yeah, I'd say the adrenaline in meat. Well, generally when we have meat, we have a big calorie meal. So the body goes, yes, bring it on. No one just has a bit of meat, It's a meal. Meat's the meal in Australia. You got everything on there, it's the meat. That's the central thing. So you have your meat with everything else. So people have their meat with their carbohydrates. So the body goes, yeah, this is a good routine, keep going. So when people cut the meat out, and they cut out almost half their daily calories in the US or Australia, so the body goes, I'm not doing this, I'm starving. So I wouldn't say meat's addictive, but it's just, the body identifies calories with it. The body goes, this is survival, what are you doing? You trying to kill us? No. So I wouldn't say it's addictive, but it becomes like a calorie source your body identifies with. But the adrenaline in the meat, maybe that, you get an adrenaline spike when you eat meat because meat's full of adrenaline. So when the cow's getting its throat slit or whatever, there's flooding adrenaline, like a fight or flight hormone. So when you eat a bit of meat, you get a little micro dose of adrenaline. So it can give us a bit of a perk. Is adrenaline addictive? I don't think adrenaline's addictive, but
It's exciting.
yeah, it can maybe become habitual. So I wouldn't say, I don't know, I don't say meat's addictive, but I say it becomes a caloric source and the body identifies with it. And so all we have to do to get off the meat is just replace it with plant calories, equal or more. And then it's like, yep, no worries. Yeah. Yeah, like when I first went vegan, I was eating hardly anything. You know, I was just like frail and weak, emotionally fragile. And once I started carving up, someone said, "Why don't you eat some rice, Harley?" And I'm like, "Rice? Oh yeah, rice is vegan. Yeah, I can eat that." And that was like the bomb just dropped. I just started chowing the rice, and the rest is history. For the first few weeks, I didn't eat much as a vegan. So I used to have rice and tuna, rice and chicken. And I'm like, oh, I'm vegan, I can't eat that anymore. So I wouldn't eat rice for a few weeks. And then someone goes, why are you eating rice and pasta? That's vegan. I was like, oh yeah. So that's what people do is they'll go out when they go vegan or whatever, and they normally have a burger, and they go out and just eat a salad. And they get hungry, when they get weak, and go, oh, vegan diet didn't work for me. It's just because they didn't replace the calories. Because the mammal's milk is designed to be addictive for the baby cow or baby animal to grow. So it gets enough calories. So the body's always gravitating towards calories. It's survival instinct. Survival instinct. So all we have to do is use our hands and be organised and put the plant foods in front of us, carbohydrates, and we'll be right. Once we cut calories, that's why people just don't last on diets. Because you're fighting the instinct of the human body, which is to have caloric sufficiency. People say, Harley, I'm 500 pounds, I don't need to eat at all. I can start fast for a year. So you could fast for a year, but you'll be binging. You know, so if you cut your calories, you just replace your calories with high carb, low fat plant foods. And then over time things settle out.
What's your next hairstyle?
My next what?
Your next hairstyle.
My next hairstyle. Well, no, what do you think it should be?
Dreadlocks.
Dreadlocks. It's too hot. I like a bit cool head. I don't know, we'll see.
Mohawk.
So,
Mohawk.
Mohawk. Maybe I could do Mohawk.
What happened to the facial hair?
It's getting too hot and itchy.
How much weight can the stomach handle?
How much
How
weight?
many kilos of food can you eat at once for 1 meal?
Me?
In general, I mean, yeah, well, I would like to know too, but, you know, I'm sure it's different for every person.
Of course.
But kind of, you know, like, more or
yeah.
less, to have an idea.
Well, it depends. It's an individual thing for sure. It's like how much can a person bench press, or how far can a person run?
You know, the stomach keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you mean? Like
Well,
the
it's
more
like
we eat?
if people say you shouldn't eat more than a fist full because the stomach is the size of a fist. It's like saying you can't give birth to babies or whatever, or you can't breathe much because your lungs are only this big. You know, lungs are only that big. You can't breathe more than that. Stretch it out. Anorexics or some of the health people in the raw food movement say the stomach's this big, you shouldn't eat more than a handful of food. Oh, no, too much. Oh no, the belly's going out, freaking out. It's like a mosquito. When the mosquito bites you, like it's engorged, and you see it fly off. It's like. Mosquitoes are really fast when they're coming to you, right? Once they fly off, they're like. You know. So people say, "Oh, I ate food and I couldn't function. I ate too much." It's like that's fucking natural. Look at a mosquito. Look at a pigeon full of food will just be sitting on the ground digesting. So some anorexics out there in the raw food movement say, oh, you shouldn't eat more than a handful of food. But the stomach stretches. So how many kilos can I handle? Depends how much training I've been doing. Because when I go do more training, more living, my appetite goes up. If I'm not doing much, my appetite goes down.
But right now, can you eat 3 kilos?
3 kilos?
4 kilos.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
I could eat, actually 4 kilos. It depends because 4 kilos of durian, no. 4 kilos of watermelon, yes. Because that just really digests really quickly. So it might be full for 10 minutes, but it goes down. 4 kilos of durian, you're going to be full all day, you know. So it depends on the volume, I guess.
Mangoes or bananas? What do you normally eat for kilos?
I could probably eat, you know, I can drink more than I can eat. So probably 30 bananas in one hit. 30
Really?
bananas is, yeah, this big for sure. I need a smoothie. Because when you eat them, it's sort of like... Because what we do as kids, we identify liquids as calories more. you get a thick shake at McDonald's or whatever, the thick shake's often 1,000 calories. And when you're 12 years old, you knock back a thick shake, 1,000 calories, no worries. But if you eat 10 bananas as an adult, oh, you've got an eating disorder, you're like an emotional eater. Same calories, you almost double your body weight, or you've got adult responsibilities, and you eat 1,000 calories, and people say you're an emotional eater. But when you're a 12-year-old kid, go to McDonald's for your birthday, you eat 3,000 calorie meal, I was a grown boy. So I can always eat more than I can drink. I can always drink more than I can eat because I've identified thick shakes. I used to have thick shakes every day at McDonald's. So the body goes, yeah, liquid, get it in there. Same with most people can drink more than they can eat.
The difference between like really big meals or grazing throughout the day?
The difference between big meals or grazing throughout the day, I like big meals because then I can eat and get on with it. Grazing, it's sort of like I'm always a bit like, more hungrier. But when I have a big meal, I can just eat that and get to it. It's a bit like sleeping 2 hours every 6 hours or whatever. I like to sleep enough and I'm done. It's like going to the toilet, 4 times or whatever. Just a little bit, I'll come back to it a little bit. But the whole time you're busting to go to the toilet still. Or you're grazing, you're still hungry. I do graze though when I'm doing a long bike ride. Try and eat every hour or something. But then maybe after 4 or 5 hours I'll have a big meal. But then so I'm doing both and I'm grazing and having meals. So on the bike I'll graze and have meals. At home I just eat as much as I can until I'm done, and I just forget about food and I can just focus on the job done. Same with sleep, I just get up, I've had enough, get the job done, go to bed early. Yo.
Was food ever a preoccupation for you? Were you ever kind of like, did you ever find that you couldn't get other things done in your life because you were too concerned about food, and how did you overcome that if that was the case?
Was food ever a preoccupation?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When I was under eating on raw food or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like when if you don't get enough sleep, all you can think about is sleep. Like before, I'm at the bike shop giving advice, and I need to have a sleep. And I came past here, and I'm like, if the gang's here, but I need to have a sleep. So I had a preoccupation with sleep. Just had a quick little power nap just over there. Now I'm good to go. Just like, do you ever get preoccupied when you go to the toilet? You're busting, like, I've got to go to the toilet, pull out the car over or stop the bike. It's because we need to go. A preoccupation with food means we need to eat. More carbohydrate.
So you just eat more and that goes away?
Yeah.
Like I find I'm like always stopping at the grocery store and like always trying to make sure I have enough fruit the next day.
Me too. Fruit, because with fruit you have to be organised.
Yeah.
With rice and stuff, it's like, like for me to go to Ming Quan vegan restaurant tonight, I don't have to be organised. I just pull 100 baht out of my pocket, sit down, pick the plate up, it's there. But with fruit, you got to buy it, make sure it's right, you got to stagger it open, you got to think what day is today? It's Tuesday, so if I want to eat bananas on Friday, I've got to buy some more tonight. For sure. So you have a preoccupation if you're in the raw food because you'll be organised. That might be different. People are like, all I can think about is I just want to eat, I want to eat, I want to eat. It means that we haven't been eating enough. It's like when people go water fast. Like, people are like talking about the recipes and they're like reading recipe books. And I think if you're reading recipe books and watching MasterChef or whatever, then yeah, you're not getting enough food.
It's like giving porn to a monk.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
What is your average calorie intake in January?
My average calorie intake in general is probably about 3,500 calories a day. That's what I need just to function. And if I'm doing more sport, my appetite goes up. If I'm doing more work, my appetite goes up, for sure. If I'm laying in bed or in the jungle all day, I don't have much appetite because I'm not doing anything, it's relaxing. But I'll still eat as much as I can fit in, but I find it becomes hard to eat if I'm not doing much, because these natural foods just drop your appetite down. And they're so low in calories per volume, you can't eat too much long term.
But during your base mile challenge, how much do you eat then?
Oh, when I was doing the January, I go crazy, I do a lot of bike riding. Man, I was just like, sometimes close to 10,000 calories a day. Just eating, so I was just like, feel like a big snake ate an antelope.
How did you manage to ride like that?
Just do it. That's the good thing about cycling, you can have full belly and go for a bike ride. If you're a runner, it's just hard to like run with full belly. You can still do it, but it takes more training. But cycling can, like we used to go to a pancake kitchen back when I was a bike courier, and we used to eat so many pancakes. Well, we had a competition, who can eat the most pancakes doesn't have to pay for the meal, So us bikers would go there, unlimited pancakes, like $8 or whatever. So we're just chowing down, doing a tally, and then we had like a 2-hour lunch break, whatever it was. But to get more pancakes in, we'd ride around the city, it's called a hot lap. Do a lap of the city, come back and eat more pancakes. Yeah. And all of us were so lean. Yeah.
Did you like stagger that so you didn't all leave the restaurant at the same time? Or you were like
Sometimes.
in there eating and then you all left and you all came back?
But generally came down to like 1 or 2 people. They had to do a hot lap just to like get the food digesting a bit. Yeah. So that's the trick to way to get more calories. If you're totally wedged, you can't eat another bite, maybe go for a bike ride, help it digest, and come back and eat some more.
When I first started this lifestyle, I made a few mistakes, and it kind of got me down a bit. Have you got any like words of wisdom or any motivation for people that do make mistakes and go, "Oh, sod it, let's just give it up"?
Yes, it's a victim or champion attitude. Like everyone makes mistakes, you know. Everyone makes mistakes. I was ziplining today, and I had to make this jump off this. You know, if it snaps, I'm going to die, right? But no, it's safe as. You know, 3 people went before me. It's safe as. I can't die. But in my head, I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. So I had to eliminate that mental focus and focus on. I'm going to fly. I'm going to fly. I'm going to fly. You know. So I just thought, let's just do it. I'm going to jump into a pool. So I visualised the pool in front of me and just sort of hopped off the thing. And then there's like 1 second of like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And then the thing caught me and I just like flew along. I was like, yes! And I want to do it again straight away. So it's the same mentality. We might make a mistake and we will carry that mistake and crush our forward momentum. When what we should be doing is going, okay, made a mistake, cool. This is the direction I want to go. This is what I have to do. This is where I want to be. This is where I am. And this is what I have to do to get there. This is going that forward direction. Versus like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Nah, just keep rolling forward. But yeah, people, that's the mentality that the system impregnates in our subconscious. If you make one mistake, you're a freaking failure. Why bother? You're just useless. You're a loser. You know? So that's what they want us to think. And we can think that, or we can think otherwise. It's just a choice in the moment between victim and champion, or chump and champion. Or winners never quit, quitters never win. So you just keep moving forward in direction, no worries. Plenty of time, I've taken people to the mountain where I live in Australia. There's a steep hill called Corkscrew Road, and I've taken so many people out there like, oh, I can't ride Corkscrew Road, it's too steep, it's too steep. Like, I fucking guarantee you'll get up this hill and it'll be the easiest thing you've ever done. Easier than I thought it would be. They're like, oh, you swore at me. I said, look, let's stop fucking around. Right? I said, you ride your wheel level with mine. And so we're riding along, this is them, this is me. And they start to go like that. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm getting a run up. I said, no, fucking ride with me. And we'll ride really casually and slowly up the hill. And they get up there. And they're like, oh, I didn't know what was going on. Like, how to do that? And I said, because we fucking pace properly. And when you're pacing properly, your mental outlook's a lot better. So often people are trying to get results, you know, I want to be as fit as such and such or lean as such and such. They're trying to speed it up. And they just fizzle out. So you need just direction and consistency is more important than speed. Just keep cruising in the right direction, you get your results. And if you have a slip up, keep going. But go back and go, why did I slip up? It wasn't emotional eating, because that doesn't really exist. It was because I just didn't eat enough calories. And so I ate some junk or whatever. Or maybe I doubted myself that this lifestyle works, and I went and ate some crap. All right, I'm back on the path, keep going.
The mistakes I made was like in the UK, pretty much all processed foods either got milk powder or egg powder, and I just didn't realise.
Yeah, that's all learning. But now you know, so you don't make the same mistake. If you make the same mistake, slit your wrists. No, but you know, like it's just when I went to France when I was a vegan, I didn't know really how to read French. And when I went back again another time, the music bar I used to eat had milk powder in it. You know, but I was more organised next time.
Yeah.
So there's no worries. But I was just so hungry at the time. I'd been up there in the mountains and thinking, this looks vegan, like, and I couldn't read the ingredients. But then a little bit more French, and the next time I went back, I was, oh, that was, you know, and they may have changed ingredients list or whatever, but it's fine. Just learn.
Have you talked about the differential food qualities around the world? What's happening, like for example in the U.S., in Europe, and Australia, etc.?
What's happening? Food's getting worse.
Yeah, the point is, I mean, I'm from the U.S. and, you know, over the last 30 years, everything is processed, everything has salt in it, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, et cetera, et cetera. It's basically 90% of what is in the supermarkets is not good for you, or 95%.
Yeah. I would say that salt, sugar, and high fructose corn syrup's not the issue. It's what people eat with them. Because I eat salt, sugar, processed corn syrup, but I'm not obese. Or like, you know, my mum is. My mum eats salt, sugar, fructose corn syrup, but she's not obese because of that. Because she's obese because of what she eats it with. We've got the same genetics. You know, I do sport, but I don't do enough sport to be this lean. This is diet. This is long-term diet. So, yeah, the food's going downhill for sure. People want to make more money. But what's going up is the fat intake's going up, the meat intake's going up. When I was a kid, we had KFC like, you know, on our birthdays. And now it's like after work or lunch on work day. So we're eating more animal products than ever before and we're getting bigger. So it's not the salt, it's not the sugar, it's not the fructose syrup. It's the fat we're eating with it and the animal protein, which makes the insulin go up. 100%. People will debate that and say processed food, but the kings and queens, they were all overweight. If you look at their pictures, you know, Queen Elizabeth or whatever, you know, King Henry, where they were eating, you know, high quality, organic, local grass-fed animal products, but it still made them overweight. But they didn't have access to high fructose corn syrup, but they were still overweight. Then they still had the kings and queens diseases, heart disease, diabetes, cancer. So salt, sugar, processed corn syrup's not the issue. It's what people eat with it. Because you could put someone in prison, two twins, give them the same calories of salt, sugar, well there's no calories in salt, but you know, you could give the same amounts of salt, sugar, corn syrup, and one person eats rice and fruit, and the other twin eats meat and eggs and dairy. And what's going to happen? They're still getting the salt, sugar, corn syrup. I know what's going to happen. The vegan twin is going to get rail thin, or they're going to gain less weight than the other one. So that's what people do, is they make the mistake, oh, this doesn't have corn syrup in it, I can eat this. And it's like full of fat. And then they're still more fat, and they go, what's going on? And 20 years later, they're still where they are. So I would say processed food is good, because you can blend bananas and that's processed. White rice is processed. Very slimming, very healthy. So processed food is not processed food. Calories on a calorie. Because you can eat 1,000 calories of fat for lunch, you can have 1,000 calories of carbohydrate for lunch. One of them is slimming, one of them is fattening. But they say, oh, calories a calorie, calories in, calories out. No way, because it's how your body metabolizes these calories. That's why 3,000 calories is not 3,000 calories. Because you're going to get it from Big Macs and bacon, or you get it from peaches and rice. And you'll have the same calories, different outcome. So the food quality is going down because the meat quality is going up, and it's just, there's 7 billion people on the planet. And so it's yeah, crazy situations.
What's your favorite joke?
My favorite what?
Joke.
My favorite joke?
Yeah.
Why did the green caterpillar cross the road? Because it wanted to invent green tyres. I don't know, it's probably the first joke I ever heard as a kid. Why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing. Why did everybody at the party love the mushroom?
Because he was a fun guy.
Because he was a fun guy.
Why didn't the raisin go to prom?
Why?
Didn't have a date.
Why did the raisin go to prom? Didn't have a date.
How did you explain your lifestyle decisions to your grandparents?
One of them's dead. The other one's insane. So I didn't. Well, I did, but they didn't listen.
Fair enough.
What was the question?
How did I explain my lifestyle and dietary changes to my grandparents? I went to in 1996, my grandma put a sausage on my plate and everything else. And I ate everything else but the sausage, and I think it was like 2 hours and I hadn't eaten the sausage. Because my friend said, what's in sausage? It's scrotums, thyroids, tumours, everything just mushed up. Knobs, nuts and nibbles in the sausage meat. And I'm like, I've never eaten sausage again, but I was still eating meat. But I was at my grandma's house and she's like, put the sausage on the plate, and I saw the sausage and I'm like, I can see a testy in there or whatever, you know. And so I didn't eat it. But it took me 2 hours to have the courage to say, Nan, I'm not going to eat the sausage. You know? And I could have said, oh, I'm not hungry, I don't feel well, but I thought, Harley, just man up and tell Grandma what you really think. It took me 2 hours. And she's like, eat the sausage, come on, I want to see you eat it. It's good, it's expensive. What's wrong? You sick? I said, no, I'm sick. She goes, eat. You know, eat up. And you're getting too skinny. And so I said, no, I don't want to eat the sausage because it's got this in it. She said, oh, that's not true at all.
Yeah.
That's a lie. This is quality. This is, you know how expensive this is? Okay, you don't want to eat it? That's fine. We'll put it in the fridge and Grandpa can eat it. And but about a year or so later, she stopped serving sausage. And she was telling me, I never bought sausage. I wouldn't buy that. That's, you know what's in the sausage? Oh, you wouldn't want to know what's in the sausage. But in the meantime, my step-grandpa, he died. He always used to make fun of me, like, wave a bit of salami in my face. Oh, this is what you miss out on Harley Christmas dinner. You used to eat this, but you're missing out now. Look at you eating like a rabbit. And I used to miss those jokes he made, but you know, he's dead, massive heart attack. They found him dead in his butt, he had all his hands clenched like that, laying on the ground, massive heart attack. He had like 7 heart attacks or something. 7 heart attacks.
How old?
How old was he? Low 70s.
Wow.
Calorie restrictor. Very lean. Very, very lean. Coffee, calorie restrictor, heart attack. So most of his calories came from fat, but he ate very little. So calorie restrictor, running on caffeine, miserable, just so strung out, so touchy to be around. But yeah, he's dead now. So how do I explain it to him? I explain it to him just like everyone else, but I'm not attached to the outcome.
Every time I go there, they offer me dairy products.
Yeah. So you say, no, I appreciate the effort, but I'm going to have this now. And just, if people can't accept our healthy lifestyle and diet choices, fuck them. Seriously, you know, 2 kids around, I can't swear too much, but pretty much. How many kids have we got here?
One over there.
One over there. So yeah, I don't want to give them. But yeah, stuff them. If people can't support our healthy, we're not doing meth. We're doing good things. If people can't support that, you have to punch them in the face. But just don't be attached to their opinion because it means nothing really. Because they're not supporting us. So just like whatever, cool.
Just be the example.
Drop them.
Have you ever experienced mucus on like refined grains since reintroducing?
I've experienced mucus. I've experienced mucus doing water fast. You know. I've experienced mucus eating rice, eating watermelon. Mucus, body's always getting rid of stuff, so it's fine. If you wake up a bit stuffy in the morning, no worries, you know. Just go for a bike ride, clear the lungs. You need to do exercise anyway, get the blood going. The body's designed to move. If it doesn't move, it becomes ill. Rigor mortis. We get rigor mortis if we lay in bed too long. The body has to move, it's like a machine. So mucus is fine, get rid of stuff. And that's the beauty of doing sports. You have to cough up and spit and get it out. Freely used to have like a pretty puffy face, and when she had a bit of a runny nose, she would never spit or snort on the bike. She said, oh, that's what you guys do, I'm a girl. But she had this puffy face, and I said, as soon as you start going snorting, your face will lean out, because it's not holding all this, you don't have a blocked sinus anymore. Yeah. Then she started blowing her nose and snorting and doing the snot rockets where you get your knuckles done, you know, and if just less puffy sinuses. People they'll be like, I'll blow my nose later on. And they're sucking all this metabolic waste back in their sinus cavity, and they're getting puffier face or infections or whatever. So just let it rip, spit it out, snort it out. Make sure there's no one behind you. If you feel self-conscious, walk in the bushes, do it, whatever. But it's natural, the body's getting rid of stuff, like a spitting camel. But some people say, oh, Harley, you're impure. You're impure. I'll see you spitting on your videos, you're impure. Well, come for a bike ride with me, you'll be spitting up cup as well. Like, oh, I don't have enough energy for that. I wonder why.
Which tattoo did you get first?
I got the PMAR. I've got them pretty close to each other. This one's positive mental attitude regardless. PMAR. This one's vegan. I got this one like a couple of months before the vegan one.
You plan on getting more tattoos?
Not really, no.
You still pay close attention to them? Or just a daily reminder?
They're just like, now they're subliminal. When you first get them, you're like, yeah, this is really cool, you know. But otherwise you forget about them. And when I first got them, I'm gangster. And now it's just like, you know, you forget about it.
How long into your lifestyle, or vegan lifestyle, did you get them?
I was vegan 2001 April, got these in 2004, so maybe 3 years. Yeah. It's, I know some people have got tattoos 100% raw food.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but you know, like, limits you a bit. I'm starving because you're tattooed then. Yeah, but vegan diet, I can do vegan diet anywhere. I can go to Antarctica and get vegan food. Rice, beans, soy sauce and tinned fruit. Easy. So it's, and, yeah. So if you're going to get a tattoo, make an easy one to live up to.
Why doesn't Doug Graham look healthier?
I think it looks alright, he's very lean. So when you've got low body fat, you have more wrinkles in your face. That's why Botox is so popular in Hollywood. Because people lose weight, but then get more crow's feet. So I'll give us some Botox in there, pop it up. And that's personal choice. So a lot of people compare Doug to someone else who's maybe Spanish or Hispanic or whatever, or doesn't have kids. So once you've got kids, you're going to age a lot quicker because it's stressful, you know. So Doug is quite a high stress guy. He's got a lot of stress on his plate, having a kid, and he doesn't really eat enough, doesn't drink enough, so it's more stress. So I think he's alright for his age, you know. But yeah. But, like, you can't get, like, one lady come last night, where is she tonight here today? She's like 61, you know, didn't look like she was 61 because she's Asian. You know? Asians got better skin typically. If I live in the sun, my skin, I get freckles and it's not good, but some of my Thai friends, they just get like caramel skin and they're 60 or whatever. So it can be like in genetics as well.
Like Annette Larkins or something.
What's that?
Like Annette Larkins?
Yeah, you can't compare dark skin genetic to like white skin. Because dark skin's always going to be better. Dark skin's a superior genetic. Black hair, long hair, it's just, you know. Most Asians have got superior genetics. Or African people, you know. You can see it. In their dental arches, their skin tone, whatever. You just got to do the best with what you're born with. So, do the best what you're born with.
How old do you think humans are meant to live? Like,
Not very long.
you don't think very long?
Because in nature, we'd get taken out pretty quickly. In nature, if you roll your ankle, you're probably going to die.
No, I mean like if they live to their whole lifespan, like don't get eaten by a lion.
I reckon maybe, you know, 50. Because if you're a 100-year-old in the nature, it's like animals in captivity live longer, don't they? In the zoos, animals live longer. Because if they're weak and frail, it doesn't matter because nothing's going to eat them. But in nature, if you're weak and frail, you're done. If you break your leg, you're done. Something's going to eat you.
Everything in nature either dies by being eaten by another animal or starving to death.
Yeah.
That's how everything in nature dies.
Bingo. So
You
it's,
break your
it's
ankle,
like,
you starve to death, or something else eats you.
yeah, like there's a pigeon yesterday got caught in the water, and it burnt all its glycogen trying to flap out. It was really weak. I gave it some food, it didn't want to eat. I'm not sure what happened to it, but I'd say it would have died probably last night when a cat got it because it couldn't run away, fly away. So it was a young pigeon, but
Social animals tend to live longer, though, too.
yeah,
Wolf packs the
Yeah.
wolves tend to live longer in a pack than alone.
for sure. But a wolf will live longer in captivity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I would say in nature, 40, 50. In society, 110, whatever.
Whatever
There was just
menopause
like
sits
this
in.
lady who lived to 126 or something, and she would have coffee and chocolate every day.
Or
So I just
smoke a
wondered
pack of
what
cigarettes
you
a
think
day.
The potential is.
Yeah.
What do you think the potential is of a human?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Who knows,
Science
maybe
keeps on finding ways to make us
127,
live longer.
128. Maybe, well, I mean, people say, oh, I know someone smoked a pack of cigarettes a day, they live to 95, you know? Good genetics, bit of luck. We don't have that though, like, people like back in the day, they, ate pretty much all organic food from the get-go, very little animal products, very low fat diet, because they couldn't afford it back then.
Just thought they had a head
So
start.
you can't compare their genetics to what we've got today. I know people who drank coffee every day and died at age 35. So in nature, it's pretty hard, pretty cutthroat out there. Like we saw the monkeys today in the forest, the gibbons, that jump around the tree. But there was one gibbon in a cage that was being rehabbed. But if that gibbon was in nature, it would have been eaten by something, leopard or tiger. So it's I don't think we live that long in nature. Humans, we're pretty weak creatures. We've got pretty big, powerful minds, but we're pretty weak. Like, we can't run that fast. We injure really easily. Our skin's really soft. We don't really have strong claws or teeth. You put a human against, an orangutan, and the orangutan will kill us, even if it's half our body weight. We're pretty frail little creatures. But we live longer in society than we would in the jungle, I reckon. Just like any animal does. When you take away its predators.
Waking up hungry in the night, what should you do? Should you eat fruit juice or not eat anything? Should you go back to sleep?
If you wake up hungry in the night, what should you do? What do you feel when you wake up?
Just really hungry, starving.
Are you thinking about food, or you just feel? Do you think about food, or you just have a pain in your stomach?
I don't know, a mixture of both.
Maybe you find out that, because when you're thinking about food, that means you're hungry.
Yeah.
When you've got a pain in your stomach, it means you maybe just digesting something or a bit dehydrated. So things are just moving around there. Hunger's not felt in the stomach. Hunger's like, in the mind, like you're fantasizing about it,
Maybe just drink some water.
Yeah, drink some water, see what happens. I'd say that often if your stomach's a bit dry or whatever, it's sort of shifting around, I'd say drink more water before you have dinner. So there you go. If you wake up just fantasizing about food, then you're probably hungry. Have some juice or something.
Yeah.
Maybe rinse your mouth as well afterwards. But if it's just a pain in the stomach, that's not hunger, that's just food moving around. Have some water.
I was curious on your opinion of dreams, and do you have lucid dreams or anything like that?
My opinions on dreams, and do I have dreams at night? Yeah, I have dreams, for sure.
How about lucid?
About what?
Lucidity?
Lucidity.
Yeah.
What about lucidity?
When you're fully aware of your dream or anything like that, you can control everything.
They're pretty good ones. I don't know much about dreams. It's an interesting one.